Hello, everybody, and welcome back to From BA to Broadway for another episode of In the Spotlight. Fwah, 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 fwah. Folks, here's your good old programming reminder. Every Monday we are here with the main pod. Every Wednesday we are here with In the Spotlight. And next week, you can catch us live at BroadwayCon. That is right, folks. Friday, July 26th, we will be live at BroadwayCon doing a live recording of the podcast. So come through. You can get tickets to the con at broadwaycon.com. All my high school and college students out there is a student discount option. So please take advantage of that. We will be there at, I think 10 a.m. is our official recording time. So I can't wait to meet you all and have a blast. In terms of who I will be joined by, dramatic drum roll, it will be announced this afternoon. So come check us out on our Instagram page where we will be making said announcement. It's going to be a blast. I'm really excited. I'm excited to have a lot of fun. Anyway, folks, on to the main event. This week, our show is being brought to you by our fan, Callie. Shout out to Callie. Thank you for this selection. We will be talking about cats. And, of course, I cannot do this alone. So, of course, with me, I have our theater historian, Danny Solly. Danny, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? How's your day?
It's good.
Amazing.
I feel like this was like you gave us a big job, Callie. This is a big show.
It is a big show.
Big show with a big history.
It's a big show. It's a weird show. It's cats. That's their tagline now. I'm going to submit that. There we go. Danny, tell us about some cats history.
Okay.
We're going to try and make this episode way shorter than this.
Okay, here we go. I tried to... It's a tricky show to describe. Cats is a musical with music by Andrew Lloyd Webber based on the 1939 poetry collection Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. The show follows a tribe of cats called the Jellicles on the night that they make the Jellicle choice by deciding which one of them will ascend to the Heaviside Layer and come back to a new Jellicle life. The show is almost more of a variety show, with all of the cats having a number showcasing themselves / explaining why they should be chosen to ascend into the Heaviside Layer, which is a decision made by the Jellicle patriarch, Old Deuteronomy.
Yeah, you got that? Pretty clear, right?
So kind of a rundown of some of our key characters. We have Monka Strap, who serves as the show's narrator. We have Jenny Anydots, who has the iconic tap number. Rum Tum Tugger, who is like the sexy, flamboyant cat. Buster Jones, the fat, gentlemanly cat. Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser, who are the mischievous, petty burglar cats. Gus the theater cat, my personal favorite, who is an exceptionally old, once famous actor. Skimbleshanks, who is the cat in charge of the railway trains. We have Grisabella, who is a former glamour cat who has gone to seed and is now rejected by the other cats, and she is kind of like hated by the rest of them. The villain of the show is, they call him the Napoleon of crime, McCavity. He, in the middle of the ceremony, he grabs Old Deuteronomy and disappears with him, and in order to get him back, the Jellicles get help from the magician Mr. Mistopheles, who brings back Old Deuteronomy. Before the decision is made, Grisabella returns and sings the infamous song Memory, which secures her position of going to the Heaviside Layer. The show ends with her usually going up above the stage in a great hydraulic lift while Old Deuteronomy addresses the audience with a recap. How's that for a nice little...
Yeah, I think that was really plain and simple, and it's a very clear description.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, everyone. I think it's just like such a spectacle, and it's completely sung through. It is a very heavy dance show.
Yes, very much so.
So I feel like the criticism that I hear a lot is like, oh, it doesn't have a plot. It's just like random. But I think there is like a very clear like through line.
Yes.
It's just not the kind of show where there's like written scene, song, move the plot along, written, you know what I mean?
For sure. I think the first time I saw it, I was definitely like, what the fuck is happening? But it was also a very long day. We had driven from Massachusetts very early in the morning. We saw a matinee, and then we won the lottery to Cats in the evening. So I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
trippy. It's a trippy show.
I had no clue, like, I didn't know anything going into it other than that it was cats and it was a lot of dancing. But truly, as soon as that overture happened and there were cats walking about the mezzanine, I was like, what?
And like the red lights,
Oh, yeah.
the red eyes kind of pop out of the darkness.
And then at the end, she is thrown up in the heavens via a rocket ship tire.
And like, as we all know, Grisabella, I don't know what production you saw, Grisabella.
Broadway, on the Broadway.
Oh, you saw Broadway. I saw the Broadway revival too.
Amazing.
You know, Grisabella is a part for, you know, our divas.
Of course,
which we love. Which I'll get to later. I have a little list. Yeah, it's interesting. I thought the history of the show was actually really interesting because I didn't know it.
Yep.
Like, I'm not a dancer, so I was like, okay, I don't need to know that show.
No, truly.
But I found out that Andrew Lloyd Webber started writing the show in 1977, mostly as just an exercise for himself, because he wanted to see how well he could musicalize predetermined lyrics, because these are all just like pretty much the poems word for word that he set to music.
Yes.
And he like had like a tiny little reading of it with his friends and like thought, great, that was my little project that I did for fun, and that's where the show is gonna like start and end. But then I'm guessing people started to like it and talk about it. So in 1980, he presented it as like a song cycle concert. And then after that, I think he was presented with a bunch of the unpublished poems from that book, same book.
Heard.
Which I think in particular was like the Grisabella poem, because that one was deemed like too sad to put in the children's book.
Understood.
So when he read that, he was like, oh, I could actually make this into like a full-blown musical.
Totally.
And so he got director Trevor Nunn and choreographer Gillian Lynn to join aboard his team, and they would, you know, those are the two that created like the iconic cats that we all know. Gillian Lynn created that iconic choreography.
Of course.
And little fun fact, originally Judi Dench was set to play both Jenny Anydots and Grisabella.
Oh.
But a week before they started previews, she snapped her Achilles tendon. And so her understudy, Mira Sands, took on just the role of Jenny Anydots.
Yeah.
And they brought in Elaine Page to come in and play Grisabella, which is crazy.
That is
like
crazy.
A part that Elaine Page is so iconically known for, and she was like a last-minute replacement.
That just feels like a very weird split track to me. Like, I can see logistically how it would work, but also I'm like,
kind of interesting.
Those are two it's just two different things that can highlight two different people in very different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I guess like if you're talking like economically here.
Oh yeah. In this economy,
and they actually had a very rough time financially. They could not get the money together for this production because it was so strange and experimental at the time. And so
who's laughing now?
Well, Andrew Lloyd Webber took out a second mortgage on his house.
No, not a mortgage.
And if this show wasn't a hit, he would have been financially destroyed.
Damn.
And all of the other money came from small donations from over 220 individuals.
Crazy.
As opposed to like giant ones from backers.
Yeah.
So it was like it's such an institution now, but it was a really kind of a little homegrown project back in the day.
I kind of love that.
They opened the original West End in 1981, and then the original Broadway followed in 1982. We've had 2 London revivals and 1 Broadway revival. The original West End production ran for 21 years. The Broadway production ran for 18 years. It's the 5th longest running show in Broadway history.
Wow.
And there is right now a current production off Broadway. It is running under the title Cats, the Jellicle Ball. It's at the Perelman Performing Arts Center. It was directed by Zaylon Livingston and Bill Rauch and choreographed by Arturo Lyons and Omari Wiles. And it is like kind of the biggest reimagining of Cats that we have seen so far. And it's like, I mean, I've been told it's like very Vogue inspired and ballroom inspired.
Like
and it's
very
like
traditional, like roots of ballroom.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard only exceptional things about it.
Like, truly, I've heard only 11 out of 10.
People are saying, like, this is how it should be performed. Andre DeShields' Old Deuteronomy.
Yep.
Iconic. I want to go see it. It's a little pricey.
A little bit.
If they want to Cats, if you're
Oh my
listening
God,
and you want to
yeah.
sponsor us, we'll do another episode on
We
Cats.
will do Cats Part 2.
Let us come.
Specifically, Zagelical Ball. We would be happy to do that.
Yep.
Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, I watch that trailer at least, I don't know, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Because it is absolutely mesmerizing. And
Mm-hmm.
just like, what what an interesting way to reimagine this piece, you know?
Yeah. And it's cool to see shows reimagined. I think
Yes.
there's like a lot of value in, I think, keeping shows. And I know like, especially Cats is one of those shows where most of the time they're doing it with the original choreography.
Yes.
Which I think is absolutely has a lot of merit, especially when the choreography is so integral to the creation of the show. But it is so refreshing, especially like Cats as an institution. There will never the original production will never be lost. There will always be productions of the original production. So when we get a big production that is like reimagined, I think that's so exciting, and they're gonna haul so many people. And especially, I think the trap that like Andrew Lloyd Webber shows fall into a little bit is because they just like run for so long, like similar to like Wicked, Phantom, Cats. I mean, I know Wicked's not Andrew Lloyd Webber, but like we never get to see reimaginings.
No.
We only get to see like the original Hal Prince Phantom, which I mean it was interesting when the latest Into the Woods revival was opening. They opened right across the street from Phantom.
Yeah.
Like the original Into the Woods and the original Phantom opened in the same year, and that original Phantom was still running against the second broader revival of Into the Woods,
Which is crazy.
so I think that's something really special that we get with Sondheim's, because they don't particularly run as long on Broadway.
Yes.
We get like millions of reimagining of his works, and we get to see like so many different hands touch his scripts. Whereas like the Lloyd Webber, like Phantom, Cats, like you just don't get to see that as much.
Yeah.
So I think when there is one, especially like the one downtown, it's so exciting and everyone wants to go see it.
And like I mean, another thing is just like playwrights are just so protective of their work, which is like so understood. Like it is their child, especially when it is something so iconic. So it is just really nice to see someone relinquish that child of theirs for this new reimagining and see it go so well. You know, I think it's a great step.
Because I know that, like, Sondheim was really open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen so many, and that's because he was down to allow that. I don't know how like, tight Andrew Lloyd Webber is on his shows.
Yeah.
And I guess it's tough to even know, because the shows have just been running for so long, there's never been a chance.
For sure. And, like, I feel like a lot of the time, the reimaginings that we see are, I mean, amazing for sure, but it's usually something like playing around with the gender of a role or something logistically to the show. This particular one feels like such a departure, like not a cat in sight, like, I don't know, just a crazy kind of scenario. And I'm just really happy to see something so out of the box be so well received.
And I mean, have you heard of is it Dutch or German? I want to say it's the German production of Wicked, where they fully reimagined it.
It looked
and
sick.
Like Wicked is another show. Like we've never been able to see a production that wasn't Joe Mantello's direction of Wicked.
Yeah.
So it's just like you get stuck in like what it should be. Every costume, everything about it is the same as it's been since 2004.
Totally.
So it's like when you get to see like a full reimagined production, like that's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's so cool to like,
another reason why the movie is just gonna break the box office.
Yeah, because like there's so many brilliant directors with so many good ideas, and like imagine if like every couple of years a new director came in and like reconceptualized Wicked. Like that would be so cool.
And like it could still stay on the Broadway, you know, it could still stay
there. Come on,
there.
Steven Schwartz, let us do it.
Please let us specifically do it.
And so
you know what else has a movie?
What? Cats.
It sure does.
That was coming up next.
I love it.
Well, not next. First, I wanted to name. At first, we're sticking with theater. We can get to the movie
I'm so
at the
excited.
end. All right.
Yeah.
This show has obviously been running forever. So many amazing performers have been attached to it, particularly to the role of Isabella. Some are a little surprising. So obviously we have Elaine Page and Betty Buckley were our West End and Broadway Grisabellas, respectively.
Yes.
I believe Betty Buckley won the Tony. I think Elaine Page won the Olivier, but don't quote me. Sarah Brightman from Phantom fame.
Okay.
Also
of
from the
course.
fame of being Angela Baber's wife. I don't know if they were together at the time. Terrence Mann was the original Broadway Rum Tum Tugger.
Fun.
Charlotte Dubois has been in it for years. I mean, on and off.
Yeah.
Lena Hall was in it in like
Crazy.
the late 90s.
As
She was Demeter.
Oh,
Demeter? Demeter?
potato with that one.
Grisabella has been played over the years by Leona Lewis, Laurie Beechman, Lilias White. Lilias White has the funniest Playbill interview. Have you seen it?
No.
Where she, I don't remember what the question was, but she's like, I hated cats. I hated putting that stupid makeup on, that stupid costume.
Oh
like,
my god.
it is so funny. Highly recommend. Go look it up. Lilias White talking shit about cats.
Amazing.
She was like, I hated every second of it.
Woof.
Liz Calloway. There is an iconic. I mean, there's a million memory compilation videos.
Of course.
As always, go watch it. Go watch the Touch Me's. Stephanie J. Block did it, I think, at the Muni. Iconic.
Mhm.
That was an iconic performance. What a powerhouse.
She's amazing.
You know, we never got a Patti LuPone
We didn't.
Grisabella, but that's because her and, you know, the beef with Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I don't.
You don't know this?
I don't.
They hate each other. Should I get into it?
No, not give a Spark Notes summary.
Basically, she originated Sunset Boulevard on the West End.
Yes.
And she was promised Broadway. He fired her by announcing Glenn Close on the like she found out from the tabloids that she was fired from the Broadway production. So she took a battering ram to her dressing room. She took a lampshade and swung it around the dressing room, broke everything, didn't go on for the next 2 weeks, sued him for millions of dollars.
Oh my god. Did she win?
Oh my god, yeah. She has a pool in her backyard called the Andrew Lloyd Webber Memorial Pool because that's what she built with the money that she won
funny.
from the lawsuit.
That is so funny.
And they despise each other ever since.
Wow.
Yeah, look up videos of her. We'll have to do a Sunset Boulevard
Yeah. We'll
episode
get
to
there.
really get into it. But videos of her talking about him are so funny because
Yeah.
you know she doesn't mince her words.
No.
So that's probably why we never got
Amazing.
a
Can't wait to
title.
have Patty on the podcast.
Patti LuPone. Maybe she'll be the BroadwayCon guest.
Wow, maybe. I don't know. We'll
Now that
see.
she's non-equity.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, jeez.
Okay, now we have a couple filmed versions to talk about.
Yes.
And there was one that I found really interesting. So first, they filmed the stage production in
Yes.
London in 1998. That was kind of cool because they used various actors who had performed the musical like in different productions over the years. Elaine Page is featured in this, the original Grisabella, so it's cool to have her performance on camera. They made a bunch of edits to the show. They cut over 40 minutes out of it.
40 minutes.
And I think the runtime of the film production is 2 hours, and
Okay.
like the original production is like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
It's a long show. So they cut that down. I think they also changed some directorial and like set pieces and stuff. But I think that's like a really good preserved way to like watch the original intention of the show. I should have rewatched it, but I saw it like years and years and years ago. And it's cool. It's a really cool thing that we have. I love when they film things. And like I think most of the things we've talked about so far are filmed.
Yeah.
And you want to know why? Because that's what we grow up on. Because
That's
that's
so
what
true.
we know.
Yeah.
That's what we know. We know these shows because we grew up watching the filmed versions. That's why
Hashtag make
every
theater
show
accessible.
should have a filmed version. This is what I also found out. In the 90s, Steven Spielberg planned an animated adaptation of the musical. He wanted to set it in war-torn London, but it never materialized.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was gonna put it through. He had his own animation studio, and I think the animation studio went under before he was able to do this project. That would have been a fascinating.
Very much so.
project.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I
to be
think
honest with you.
I
like
think
the
Steven
setting.
Spielberg needs to do more movie musicals. I think
Yeah,
he's
that's
created the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a story for another day. And then in 2019, we have the Tom Hooper directed feature film.
God bless.
And that cast included, obviously, James Corden.
Yes.
Judi Dench finally got to be a part of Cats.
Of course.
This time in the role of Old Deuteronomy.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Derulo, Idris Elba, Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson ate as Grisabella. I gotta give her that.
Of course.
Ian McKellen, Taylor Swift, Rebel Wilson. The list goes on and on. Crazy. Did you? I'm assuming you saw it.
Oh boy, have
theaters?
I? Of course.
You know,
you had to
you
see
took
it
a
on the
little
big screen.
EDIBLE and went.
Whomst me? Wow, I would never be caught red-handed with that. But yes, and even better because of it.
And you know what? I love that movie.
It was a blast.
Like, yeah, if you want me to like critically tear it apart, we could.
I mean,
but like, take it. Like, it is a campy, half animated, half live action.
yeah,
They made them these weird, like half human anthropomorphic cats. There was zero gravity in the whole fucking film. Like,
they had to unanimate buttholes
I just
in this movie that had already been released. That in itself, incredible. Incredible that we exist in a time where that had to happen and did, and I'm so happy it was for cats.
Andrew Lloyd Webber is quoted as having to have gotten an emotional support dog after watching that film.
Oh no!
It was the biggest financial failure of Tom Hooper's career. You know, I think it's a shame because I personally really thought that he did a good job with Les Mis. I think a lot of people, you know, have different opinions on that movie. I like it. I think it's a really solid movie musical
for sure.
And I mean, look, it was a swing and a miss.
You know,
but was it a miss? I don't know.
To some people,
we should watch it tonight.
Maybe. Wait, Cats or Les Mis?
Double feature.
Oh my god. I don't know if I'll make it, but I'll happily try.
I don't know. I have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Oh well.
Yeah. So that's we have 2 film productions of Cats. There are bootlegs galore. There's always a tour going out. There's always a production somewhere. Cats, you can't escape it.
Absolutely not.
Have you saw the Broadway production?
I saw the Broadway production, the revival. I saw the most recent non-union tour.
You did?
I did.
I wish I got to see that.
I saw it in, where did I see it? New Jersey somewhere in the middle of New Jersey.
Okay, that's fun.
We had a couple of friends in it, so took it a little trip.
Yeah.
Blast. An absolute blast.
It's a fun score.
Yeah.
I mean, I could never be in it, but I think it would be a blast to be in. I could be Gus.
If you were a dancer, who would you want to be?
Dancer or not, I want to play Gus the theater cat. Okay. I think I've been in, look, not to toot my own horn, I've been in callbacks for it before.
Oh my god. Yeah.
There was a day when I was self-taping for Gus the theater cat.
Yeah.
Mind you, at the time I was 26, 27.
Yes.
And my roommate at the time who was also 26, 27, was filming to play the Donna understudy in Mamma Mia. And we were like, it's a day for the character actors.
Both ends of the spectrum on that one. Dang.
I think Gus has he should have been the Jellicle choice. And I know that's like a contested thing. People talk about it all the time. I think he has the most heartbreaking song in the whole thing. He is like, it makes his paws shake. Oh,
you'll get him next year, sport.
Oh my god! And if you watch the filmed production, like the original West End, I think they made him a little more sprightly for Broadway. But the West End actor was like decrepit. Like, I think that actor was like 95. It was like the last thing he ever did, and it is like, oh, it gets you right in the gut. It is it's such a beautiful song. I'm a sucker for an old man. Don't take it out of context,
and
folks.
That's on period. Cats is
What's your favorite?
So
what's your favorite cat?
Rum Tum Tugger.
Really?
I love a spectacle like that. Yeah, I mean that Mr. Mistopheles also because I love magic.
Those would be your favorite.
Yeah. Oh, and Skimbleshanks.
So all
a lot of fun. What?
So all of them.
Yeah, and McCavity. And
I do like Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser
for sure. A lot of fun. Shout out Allie.
Yeah, one of my besties is is a standard Rumble teaser across the country.
Doing it all over.
Doing it right now this summer.
I found out recently that my costume professor and mentor designed that production that she's doing right now.
Oh my
How
God.
crazy. Yeah. Small
It's
world.
kind of fun.
It is fun. Yeah. I just love this production. Essentially.
Which one?
Just Cats in general.
You love cats. So you do love cats.
I'm a fan.
You're a
I'm
fan.
definitely a fan. It's just so
Okay.
absurd. And like kinda it's just about a bunch of cats doing a talent show where the prize is death.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't know. It always confuses me when people say there's no plot. I'm like, there is a plot.
Yeah.
You might not like the plot, but there is a clearly
It's
defined
weird.
plot.
It's weird enough where it's easy to be like that couldn't be the plot, right?
They're
Like that can't be
essentially
the plot.
auditioning for death.
And like what a millennial actor's dream, am I right?
And apparently, when you are in a major production of Cats, it's intense. Like Andrew Lloyd Webber there is a huge whole backstory that like the audience doesn't know, that like the actors are all aware of. All of these cats have interpersonal relationships. I mean, like every show, like obviously you do your actor homework and like
But of
you have
course.
like a whole life.
Yeah.
But it's like apparently it's like really, really detailed for them already by Andrew Lloyd Webber, of like
Crazy.
all of these cats have this like inner life and these inner relationships, and every single cat has like a full personality that you are like handed on the first day of rehearsal to like learn and live.
Interesting.
And like way more than like what we're just like seeing on the stage.
I'd be fascinated to see that little encyclopedia.
I know. And they have like a whole like little cat boot camp and stuff. It's an institution.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. In terms of our music in the show, I don't really think
Nope.
I don't think I'd put any of these songs in my book.
No.
I think
listen to it.
Yeah,
It's a great
definitely
score. It's
listen
a great
to it,
soundtrack.
watch it.
Yeah.
This one,
Sing it in your shower.
Exactly. The only song that I think could ever be potentially book-worthy would be Memory, but that, of course, is one for the divas, you know?
Absolutely don't put Memory in your
No.
book. Don't do it.
Absolutely not.
Wait till you get that Norwegian Cruise Lines packet and
There
then
you go.
sing your heart out.
Absolutely.
Sing your
it in
heart
the
out.
shower.
You know what I don't
your
like?
Karaoke nights. What?
What I think as the years have gone on, Grisabella has become sexy.
I don't see why she can't be.
She's the Grisabella
Like,
of
she still has to be, like,
the Grisabella of
worn down and
yesteryear,
dirty.
like Elaine Page, Betty Buckley, they were like decrepit Grisabellas. Like, I'm not calling them decrepit. I'm calling like
Yeah.
the costume, the affectation, like decrepit. I feel like as the years have gone on, the actresses considered for Grisabella are becoming younger and younger,
That I will say, yes.
and the
It's-
costumes are getting nicer and nicer. And I'm like, she's like the decrepit hag that
Yes.
that all the cats are hissing at when she walks across the stage. Why isn't she haggard?
I will say it's definitely getting younger, and I think because of that, they are definitely taking liberties with costuming and stuff.
Like,
I
bring back a haggard
listen.
Grisabella.
I don't mind it being a little sexy and haggard, you know, but
I don't
still,
want it.
Still,
I want a
older, like-
Grisabella that is falling apart at the
Damn.
seams.
Damn.
You heard it here.
Okay, there we go. That's Danny's take.
If you're under 55, I don't want to see your Grisabella. Unless you could really build the shit out of memory.
Yeah,
Then,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
Different story, but
You
yeah.
know. I feel like
I think that's all I
feel
got.
like we just like wrapped a nice little bow around cats.
There we go, folks. Cats consensus. I like it.
No complaints here.
There we go.
If you're a dancer, you gotta know it.
Yeah, if you're a dancer,
In short, if
get
you're a
out there.
dancer, learn the show.
Yeah,
You'll be in for it. You'll be doing it.
100%.
And you'll be in the best shape of your life doing that show 8
Oh
times a
my
week.
god, 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, get out there, do your cats. We're rooting for you. We're your biggest supporters, and of course, you can be our biggest supporters by finding us on Patreon. Patreon.com/BA2Broadway. We will not be gatekeeping any vital information there. That is just for fun bonus content. Come through, pick what shows we're going to talk about in these episodes. That's one of the fun new perks. You know, if there's a show you want to hear, come through, become a principal tier subscriber, and let us know what you want to see. Here, exactly.
Unless you want to come to our apartment and watch us do this, then see.
Yeah. No.
And our address is
Beep. Eventually we'll do video, but
Oh, I thought you said
gonna be a
eventually
while.
we'll release our address.
yeah, eventually we'll do private screenings in our home, 2 at a time, because that's all we can
Two at a
fit.
time.
Anyways, folks, as always, you can find us on most social media platforms at BA to Broadway. You can find me at Brennan Stefanik.
Me at D-Sols.
And until next week, folks, meow. From BA to Broadway is created, produced, and edited by Brennan Stefanik, music by Dylan Kaufman, and cover art by Jordan Vongsithi.